Hello, everyone, and welcome to Infused Transitions. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you enjoy the video, and whether this one resonates with you or not, I invite you to check out any of the other videos, and we hope you decide to join us as a norm and subscribe. For those of you who are returning, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you, your support, your being here, and just the fellowship. And I know that may seem weird to some people considering, the platform and everything, but I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate the subscriptions, the thumbs up, just all of it. All of you guys. I just thank you so much for being here. With all of that said, if you're wanting to know more about how I read, you can check out that information in the description box below. And we're just going to jump in. So these are the decks that I am going to be using today, that I know of at this moment. I don't never know if they're going to guide me to pull in something else, or they might give me one to start with and then I don't even use it. So the Be You, Do You, For You. Cheryl Richardson, this is Cheryl Richardson, this one and this one. So we have my Daily Affirmation cards, Grace cards, and Self-Care cards. Dear Universe, Oracle, and Divine Doors, and the Carolyn Miss archetypal cards. So yeah, let's just dive in, and we're gonna get started. Oh, that was loud. Just needing to move these out of the way. I'm going to apologize right now because I am expecting some family members to come in, and they're going to get in, I'm not sure when they're going to show up, but the dogs may end up going a little bit crazy. And I, of course, apologize now if there is that interruption. And I'll pause it and then have to come back, but we'll get it done. We'll get it done. So I was doing a reading utilizing all of these decks for myself this afternoon, and I just really liked the feel of the cards, this combination of cards together. They just felt really nice together. So yeah, just thought I'd just do this for you guys as well, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. You can let me know by giving me a thumbs up if this is a combination you like. Okay, so just take a few deep breaths. Take the time to just kind of allow this time and space for yourself. In through the nose with a pause, and then out through the mouth. So Most High of all that is, what messages do you have that you would like to bring forward for our viewing audience, whether they are here now or in years from now and anywhere in between? Oh my goodness. Sometimes the cards take a while, so, and I was just going to say, so feel free to fast forward if you don't want to wait. All right, how many we got? Okay. All right, so we have my ability to conquer my challenges is limitless. My potential to succeed is infinite. I love that. My ability to conquer my challenges is limitless. My potential to succeed is infinite. Beautiful. And then today is a sacred gift from life. Today is a sacred gift from life. All right. Let's see what else is going to come out here. So maybe there are some challenges some of you have been going through, will be going through, are going through. But just know that your potential is infinite. You have potential for success that is infinite. All right, let's expand. That's too many. Let's expand on this message, please. Let's continue to expand and go a little farther, a little deeper. Thank you. It says, Dear Universe, may I embrace radical self-compassion and release the need for control. So I find this interesting that, you know, so your ability to conquer your challenges is limitless. Okay, but it is also talking about embracing radical self-compassion. And the potential to succeed is infinite. With this releasing the control, it feels like maybe there are some who, and I know I'm one, who may be challenged, shall we say, in releasing the control. Now, I know for me that is something that I struggle with, you know, or having that attachment to that outcome, right? Wanting things to be a certain way. But we're being reminded that, you know, today, yesterday, every day is a gift. It is a gift. And when we try to control everything, when we have all of these attachments, we tend to put a damper, shall we say, on that gift. Dear Universe, reveal to me the energy of true love and compassion in my life. So this is twice we've gotten compassion. We've got 4 cards on the table, and half of them are about compassion. So, you know, I do like to encourage people to, you know, do their own research, right? To really look at what, you know, how things resonate with you, or don't. And I think part of that is having an understanding, like, what does compassion mean to you, right? Because different people can have different definitions for what things mean to them. I mean, case in point, I would even encourage you to maybe go look up the definition of the word compassion and look up a few different sources. Maybe using some traditional meanings, but then also looking up like urban slang, or looking up, or I should say, or looking up the, you know, spiritual meaning of compassion, spiritual meaning of self-compassion. Because I really feel like either some are not practicing compassion for themselves, or maybe some have, I'm hearing, a skewed perception of what compassion is. Sorry, had to get a drink. Or, you know, yeah, some have a skewed definition of what compassion is. Yeah, I really feel like that's something that could use some clarification of whatever that is for you. Read the definitions, and, you know, again, just like anything, take what resonates, leave the rest, including this reading. But it feels like the compassion, having compassion and learning what does that mean for you, plays a role in this conquering your challenges. I feel like it also is it will also play a role in your potential to succeed, because you figure if we're out of balance in that area, it's going to have an impact, whether it's balanced or not balanced, just like anything else, right? So maybe, you know, your word of the day is compassion. So yeah, let's see. What else do we have? Let's continue with this story. Peace. And this is work. Okay. So my workplace is a drama-free zone that brings me peace and fulfillment. Now, if this is not the case for you, then maybe this is something to look into. How can you shift that? What is yours to do and what's not yours? And self-compassion, right? If we're maybe, you know, maybe for some this is going to be, there might be an opportunity because we do have potential for success. Maybe for some you might be looking at different employment. And again, we have environment. All right. I love living in organized beauty. See, I love living in organized beauty. So maybe for some of you, there's this there might be a need for to declutter, to create more balance, more alignment, more harmony. I'm hearing, and this may be very specific for a person or for a small group of people. There's not a lot of, there's something about not being what's the word? Not being, there's something getting in, something in your environment, whether it is in your workplace or in your home or in both, because this is about living in, so it's your environment that you live in and then your workplace. There's something in the environments in these places that, and it does talk about being drama free. So maybe there's a lot of drama going around in your workplace, and maybe it's, you know, you go home and maybe your home is also a drama place, or maybe your home isn't about drama, but maybe it's just really disorganized, or maybe you need to just declutter so that when you come home, your home is your sanctuary, your place to unwind, your place to have that peace. But it feels like that whatever is happening in these two different environments is playing its role. It's playing its role in having false perceptions of what true love is and what it is about, and what compassion and self-compassion is. So, you know, that you may want to think about that. You may want to go within and think about those things. And, you know, again, if that's not your story, then that's not your story. Then it doesn't apply to you. All right. Okay. So we have Anthony's call. In thanks of my spirit, safe and sound, all things that are lost so can be found. What has been lost can be found. So where you have lost this ability to have and be compassionate with yourself, you have the ability to find that. Okay. Secret sketches. Wander and seek the familiar and friendly kind. Draw memories and sketches for others to find. So for some of you, this may be about recording your journey, whether that is in books or paintings or sketches, or, you know, documentary, I don't know. There's, you know, recording your journey in some way, shape, or form, because there would be others coming behind you that could then be encouraged because they now see that somebody else who is dealing with what they're dealing with has dealt with it, and that they've moved past that. Next we have Draw Down the Moon. The forest nymphs dance in sheer delight, singing soft songs. Find us in the wild. Good night. And I find this interesting because tonight is 11/11. It is the portal way. And they got a shot of the moon in here. I don't know if you can see that very well on the card. But moon energy. So, you know, for some of you, this is about getting connected with nature because they're talking about wood nymphs. For the others of you, this is just simply about, you know, moon energy. Maybe you are sensitive to moon cycles, to planetary shifts of what's going on in the astrals, in astronomy, in astrology, astrologically. Let's continue with the story. What else could we expand on this to go deeper and more clearly? What else? Thank you. Mindfulness. Manage your mind. When we direct our thoughts and words towards the outcome we most desire, we ignite grace. I would also say that mindfulness about how we speak and how we think has a lot to do with what we manifest in our lives. Now, I say that also, though, with this caveat, I guess. There are times when you can do everything that you can do, and, you know, your life still isn't reflecting what you have been trying to create. And I would say to that, because a lot of people will sit there and say, well, it's because you're not doing this. Well, because you're not doing that. Well, you know, you did this, that, and the other. And again, be compassionate with yourself. Be non-judgmental with yourself. And, you know, other people can say whatever they're going to say, but they're not in your shoes. You know what's best for you. You know where you've been. You know what circumstances. And if you're going to sit and be honest with yourself, you'll know where you're making excuses and where it truly is something that is beyond your control. Okay? This one is ask. So we have, when we call upon the divine for guidance and support, we will receive a response. Spiritual signposts will be put in our path to guide us to our highest good. So again, you know, being compassionate with yourself, I feel like can be very easily applied to, you know, if you need help, support, assistance, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I would encourage you to set pride aside or fear aside of asking for help, whether that is through the divine, through going out and seeking out a professional for whatever it is you feel you need help with. And whatever that looks like for you. Alternative opportunities, traditional, whatever combinations, whatever it is that works for you. Ask for, and if you don't know where to go, ask, you know. And the thing is that sometimes, you know, people, when they say, well, just ask, you know, it'll come to you, and you're like, okay, but I ask and I don't hear anything. Well, maybe it's not going to come through in hearing, you know. Maybe it's going to come through because you have a chance meeting with somebody, or you're just standing there at the grocery store buying something and you hear a conversation of somebody else that you can't help but hear because they're right behind you or in front of you on the line, or they're waiting, you know what I mean? And you hear them talking about something, you're like, oh my gosh, that's what I need, or oh, that's interesting, I should check that out. And, you know, follow through with those. Those are promptings. And even if nothing comes from those, sometimes it's not about that thing, but it's about something else along the way. Sometimes we know, sometimes we don't know, but whether we are consciously aware of what it is, doing the steps does shift things. All right, we have time. Schedule a sacred date with yourself. You deserve time for your life. Okay, I realize that for a lot of people, this is really hard to do. Schedules, this, that, and the other. And they're just saying, you know what, it's really important for you to take that time to do that. And being mindful of our time. Being mindful with our time. Gratitude, opportunity, and faith. Faith, I don't know about you, but there have been plenty of times where I personally have just felt like I don't have any faith left. And then something happens, and it, without me even realizing it, it does make me have more faith again. I don't know why I'm bringing this one out. That's what I was, yeah. So we've got the magical messages from the Fairies Oracle, and these are Doreen Virtue. I don't know if you can buy them anymore or not. You'd have to check that out yourself if it's a deck you're interested in. All right. Okay. All right, so we've got debt paid off. The old weight and habit of debt is lifted from you in your life. So for some of you, maybe some of this peace you've been seeking, or work, tensions, drama stuff, maybe a lot of this has to do with debt of some sort that has been getting in the way, creating dysfunction, creating stress, that is, you know, playing its role. Because let's face it, a lot of us, when we have debt of any kind, it does tend to stress us out. We got dietary change. Improve your diet and your life will also improve. So maybe for some of you, there is a need to look into shifting up what you eat, how you eat, maybe what you prepare or how you prepare it. A wish being granted. What you've asked for is coming true. And isn't it interesting that you have the ask card, and then we get, you know, what you asked for is coming true. But if we don't ask, how is it going to get put out there, right? So I feel like that's an important component to that. Let's see if we can get these to lay together here. All right. And then the last one we have is flower power. Spend time with flowers and flower essences to increase your personal healing power. Now, for some, you know, there are a lot of different flower essences out there that can help you through whatever challenges that you're looking at. But I don't know anything about flower essences in the sense of, like, you know, if you take it and you have this and you're doing that, you know. So again, not a professional there. You would need to talk to somebody who is a professional with flower essences. But it could also just be about being out into nature, if that's an opportunity for where you live in whatever climate you're in. It could be as simple as buying a plant to keep around you. It could be buying yourself some flowers to just have around to bring you some joy, to uplift you in some way. Take what resonates, leave the rest. All right. We're going to ask now, so I'm wanting to know, what archetype are we operating in the shadow aspect that is not helping us in all of this? So we got child divine, and the shadow attribute to this is an inability to defend one's self against negative forces. So for some, and again here with these are very young people depicted here. So for some of you, it's time to bring in a more mature perspective around setting boundaries, learning how to defend yourself from those who would take advantage of your niceness, of those who would take advantage of your innocence, your being naive. And you know, some of that, it just comes with maturity. And that is not saying that you're childish when you're an adult. I'm just saying, as we go through our awakening, our journey, our life, as we grow, as we change, you know, we mature, right? And it could just simply be that, you know, it's time to start looking at your boundaries and updating them, basically. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're not practicing healthy boundaries, if you violate your own boundaries, then why would anybody else respect your boundaries? If you allow people to cross your boundaries, to not respect your boundaries, then they're not going to respect you either. And, you know, it's not about, oh, poor me, and being in the whole victim thing, but it is. And I'm not saying this is easy, but it is about, okay, what does a healthy boundary look like? You know, what area do I feel like people are violating my boundaries? And what can I do about that? How do I change that? Again, it's starting to do the research and the work. Do we have any more? Any more where we're in the shadow attribute? All right. Oops. All right, so we have slave, and the shadow attribute is, giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. So again, right, this goes so hand in hand to me. Now, again, take what resonates, leave the rest. If you feel only this or neither one, then that's what it is for you. But I would invite you to even to at least consider it, because sometimes we can put blinders on when we don't want to look at something about ourselves. But again, inability to defend oneself against negative forces, giving your willpower to an external authority. External and negative things are something that are outside of ourselves, right? Out of fear of making your own choices, fear of making a mistake, of just being immature in the sense of just maybe continue, you know, still living from an old paradigm of yourself, or an old paradigm of time, or whatever. But definitely, it's definitely time to reevaluate your boundaries, and to begin enforcing them first with yourself, by not allowing yourself to cross your own boundaries, and not allowing others then to cross your boundaries either. And then we have the rescuer. The shadow attribute that assumes that the rescued will reciprocate, keeps the rescued one needy. So yeah. Again, it's boundaries, 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 perceptions, understanding. So, you know, the rescuer, this is somebody who thinks it's their job to rescue everybody, whether that person wants to be rescued or not. And that's not your job. You know, if somebody wants to be rescued, then they need to do the work. They need to ask. They need to do the research. They need to check things out. They need to do an assessment. Where am I at? Where do I want to go? Right? They need to put on and do their own work. They need to put on their detective hat. They need to start asking for help. They need to start educating themselves. It's not your job to do that. It is our job to do that for ourselves. And I would say, you know what? We can't pick to do everything all at once. You got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. And I would really say boundaries is huge, 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 huge. Because if you're really going to do some understanding around what boundaries are, what do they look like, et cetera, for your different life areas, it's going to touch on all of this. Okay. These are really, really key. Okay. So now what, archetypes are we in the light attributes about that are helping and supporting us in this journey? What archetypes are they moving in the light attributes that are going to help them in this journey? Oh, that's way too many. All right. All right. The poet expresses soul insights in symbolic language. Okay, so yeah, you may be learning about some of your soul's attributes, your soul's insights, learning about yourself, and then learning how do you express those, right? Or maybe this is something you're already doing. I feel though it's more about this is what you know how to do this. So it's literally just about, I'm hearing the word enacting it, right? These over here is more of, okay, I need to be honest with myself and realize these shadow attributes is where I'm at and understand what that looks like. How does that get played out? What are examples of that in your life? And then if you're so choosing to change that so that you're not operating in that shadow attribute anymore. But in this one, because if you were expressing everything, you wouldn't really, well, I guess you could be in that. But yeah, so for some of you, you know, again, the bottom line is expressing it in some way, shape, or form. So I guess you could be doing that, even if you are in the shadow over here on those. But it's expressing your soul insights. So again, whether that's, you know, through singing, through drawing, through painting, through pottery, working with animals, helping other people, whatever that looks like, as long as you're not moving into the rescuer with that, which, you know, but it's the poet. It's the poet. All right. So what other one do we have? Do we have any more where we are operating in the light attribute that is going to help us? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. 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 Let's put this stack back because that's just too big of a stack to go through. All right, and then we have the prostitute and the Don Juan. So the prostitute in the light attribute is accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. And we have the light attribute of Don Juan is spotlights your positive, seductive qualities. Okay. So I feel like these are ones that you already hold the potential to do, be, or are already carrying out in some way, shape, or form. So again, with this, the prostitute and the light, it's, accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. So you can be a survivor without compromising your integrity, is what it's saying to me. Now, if that's not how it resonates with you, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. The Don Juan, it spotlights your positive seductive qualities. Now, seductive can be beyond the romantic. There's those people who are just very charismatic, right? And I feel like that could very well be something that can help you in finding support and help, not in a user negative kind of way at all. Okay, it's not what I'm saying. So these are just cards that are ones that I'm playing with to probably put into cards. So let's see, what do we got going on in the heart wall that is contributing? I think that's too many. Yeah, this is too many. That's too many. I will take this one just because it came out separately, and it's tearful. So maybe some of you are feeling very emotional right now. And if you're a person who is sensitive to planetary movements, it would make sense if you're feeling that way right now. All right. We have worthless. So somebody here or some here feel like, they have they could use some healing work, and some changes in their perceptions on their own self-worth, because there's somebody's actually feeling and or believing that they are worthless, which obviously is not true. It's not true. And for some, it's like, oh no, I don't think that about myself, right? But for some, it could be something that is at a subconscious level, so you're not even aware of it. It may not be a main energy, but like we can be moving along, doing things well, but and we want to start. I'm just going to say your own business. As an example, you might want to start your own business, but you don't, and you think, well, I don't want to because of this, and those are all like, yeah, I could see how that would all be, challenges and blah blah blah. But there may be, without any knowledge of it, this underlying thing of it really is because you don't feel like you're worthy of having that kind of success, or that being able to be your own boss, or worthy of having that kind of experience. We got suspicious and tense. So here's what I would say to that. And I get it because it's a struggle that I have as well. Being suspicious. Okay. When you've been through a lot and you have had a lot of experiences of people who have taken advantage, who have done you wrong, etc., it can be very, very challenging to trust other people, to take them for their face value, and to believe that what they say is what they mean. You can be very suspicious of people, places, situations, offerings. You can just be suspicious, and it makes sense. And you figure with all of this happening here, and even if you have these things going on, it would make sense if you're tense, right? Anything else? Anything now from this deck that could be helpful to have an understanding about? I think that's probably too many, but let's look. All right. Let's see, what do we have? All right, we have independence. So yeah, getting a lot of this straight and straightened out and moving around, walking through that door. I feel this is going to create or brings an opportunity to create independence for yourself in some way, shape, or form. And again, understand independence can have different meanings for different people. And it doesn't have, it could be, maybe it's independence about a specific life area. Maybe it's independence overall, right? Take it how it resonates. We have completion. So we have something that is closing out, something that is finishing. We have loyalty and we have reverence. All right. So I feel like the loyalty and the reverence is about the self, being loyal to yourself, having a reverence for yourself. And again, obviously, I'm not meaning this in a selfish way at all. I'm talking about doing this in a way that is healthy, balanced, and aligned. And I really feel like for some of you, it's because you don't currently practice being loyal to yourself. You don't currently even see yourself worthiness, right? You don't see yourself as something that deserves your reverence. I'm sorry, just a moment. I have a cat munching down on one of my plants. So yeah, I really feel like this is, I think it really is a message about helping yourself at this point. It's time for that self-investment. Oh, I did. Yeah, scheduling that sacred date with yourself. You deserve time for your life. So it is time to move things on your behalf or in your behalf. Right? Okay. I think that's it. Yeah, I'm feeling like that's it. So I thank you guys so much. I really, really hope that this reading resonated with you, that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it was helpful. Give me a thumbs up if it is, so I know if this is, if you found it helpful, and if this is something that you would like to have me do again with this combination of cards. So until next time, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Talk soon. Bye.